Hey, Cody.
I know.
We feel you, brother. We feel you.
I know. It was just one of those days, wasn't it?
Fuck!
I felt, to be honest, I felt more angry after the game on Wednesday than I did today. Because in the game on Wednesday, I was like, we were winning with 20 minutes to go. 10 minutes to go. We end up losing, and in such a important game, in midweek. But today, I wasn't even that surprised today. I mean, because Wolves are a good team, and if you give them that advantage that we did give them, you only got yourselves to blame, don't you?
Honestly, if you go back to the 78th minute of the Southampton game, that 30 minutes of football from when Southampton scored the second of 3 goals to when Wolves scored their second tonight, that has to be one of the most comical half hours of defensive football that I've seen, maybe ever personally. Like, I wasn't watching football in the 90s, so I can't really speak to what it was like watching Stuart Nethercott and the like back there.
Great name drop.
Jesus Christ, like how like that second goal, I watched it again and it's like, how has Lloris Smith hit that pass so badly? Compounded by Ben Davies making like a that's just basics. That's football basics. That's basics in any kind of sport. You don't go up the middle to escape trouble. You don't. He puts it right on a plate for the Wolves player. It's just
go down the line. Always go down the line.
Always. Even out of play is better than that. Like give yourself a chance to reset. Get everybody. It was just. This terrible team. Can you imagine if this team snuck into the Champions League? Would you want to watch this team against Real Madrid? Would you want to watch this team against Bayern Munich? Like, Jesus.
Do you think it's a lack of leadership maybe at the moment at the back without Dyer, or do you just think that it's just quality-wise? Like these players were performing well for a time under Conte at the back, and now maybe they're just showing their true colours.
I just think there's a lack of quality. There's a huge lack of quality, and the thing is too, Southampton have laid out a blueprint for everybody else to just waltz all over us because Conte wants to play out from the back. We look worse than Arsenal did last season before they went and dropped 150 million pounds and got Ramsdale and other players that can help them play out from the back. We look worse than they did, and they were giving up comedic goals, and we look worse than they did. Yeah. We just can't handle the pressure. We can't handle the pressure at all. And on top of that, like, when was the last time we won a must-win game?
Yeah, when the pressure's on, you're right. When the pressure's on, it seems to
probably the 80s.
The whole fucking squad is made of chocolate. Honestly, it's just
Cody. What I wanted to ask you, and I'm interested to hear from you regarding this. I felt, and I said this whilst we were watching the game. I felt that we started the game really well, and it's against the run of play, we went a goal down. But again, it's like you said, it's those comical individual errors that are costing us at this level. Like you just said, Lloris is a straight pass to Davis wasn't quite straight. Then Davis panics and hits it when he does. And obviously, with everybody picking up positions in possession, all of a sudden we're non-possession, and it's a free fall. But I felt up until that point we started the game really well. It's just a shame that we were completely sucker punched ourselves because we created our own mess. That's what I felt. We created our own mess. They go 2-0 up, and all of a sudden we're like, wow, how did this happen? And it's like now we're having to chase the game. Conte makes the change early on. I thought it was the wrong change, as in not necessarily wrong for bringing Kulusevski on. I felt that Davis and not Sessegnon should have been the one brought off. And I said this while the game was going on because I felt with Davis going left back, we would nullify ourselves going forward on the left-hand side, which is what we currently did. How did you feel about that part of before obviously we know what happened in the second half?
Yeah, it was pretty harsh on Sessegnon. Really tough watching him have to walk all the way around the pitch. It was at
He was
least
applauded by the fans and spoken to by Conte, so it's not.
yeah. But they showed like what do you? This guy's had a
It's
real
hard.
tough time here, with trying to build confidence and gain minutes and get experience, and he gets a chance to get in there ahead of Reguilon, and gets hauled off because Conte. When you're making a change after 25 minutes, I'm sorry, that's damning of your game plan, isn't it? Like I know things change, and we were down 2-0, and we had to make a change and everything like that, but. Yeah, it's just really frustrating to watch. There's just this like a black hole in the middle of the pitch for us. We just don't have the midfield to play the way that Conte wants to play. Winks today, I mean, geez, Winks today. Like the only thing that I can like justify why Conte hasn't gone to the 3-5-2 like Will was saying
Yeah.
is that we only have 3 healthy senior midfielders at this point. But I would expect some changes going forward because this just isn't working. We're just overrun. This has been a problem long before Conte showed up. The problems that we've had in midfield, and I know Celso and Ndombele weren't playing at their best. I'm not arguing that they should have stayed here, but if we were gonna empty certain aspects of that midfield and send those players out on loan, we should have been more aggressive in the January transfer market, and we should have brought
Agreed.
in other bodies because it's
Agreed.
just the
Totally.
fact that Harvey White right now is our 4th midfielder. That this is like it's like a domino effect because now Harvey White's not playing football, right? He's just there as an emergency. He was set to go out on loan, and you're seeing players like Dylan Marcande leaving the club because there's no path to the first team. Well, this isn't the right path for Harvey White to get to the first team either. This kid should have been out on loan. We should have been bringing in a Premier League quality midfielder to help right the ship because otherwise, what are we even doing here? Like, I'm looking back on this January window and I'm thinking like they've just punted this season. We don't have the players at several positions to play Conte ball. We don't even have a squad fit to play football of almost any kind. You can set this team up however you want. The squad is in such dire shape and is in such bad form right now. We can make anybody look good. Losing at home back to back 96 hours apart to Southampton and Wolves, it's going to be a rough ride here.
Were you encouraged at all by when we brought on Kulu on half an hour, we did start to get a bit more control, maybe start to open them up a bit, even though weren't clinical enough and we didn't make the most of the openings you were making. But was there anything that encouraged you about that period?
Well, let's face it, Wolves, they're not the kind of team who are going to keep coming at you with a 2-0 lead. They're going to sit back, they're going to protect, they're going to make sure that they don't concede, and that's what they did. So was it the change that he made? Was it Kulusevski coming on, or was it, Wolves' tactic to just be compact and not give up anything too blatant? I don't know. It's a hard game to digest. I liken it to one of the World Cup qualifiers recently where Canada beat the United States, to an early lead. No, seriously, it was very similar. If you look at the statistics on possession and everything like that, Canada got their lead and then they sat back and they defended stoutly and then they took their chance when they got it. And Wolves did the same thing today. It's just what can you do? Like when Kane and Son aren't clicking, and let's face it, they haven't clicked. They've had runs individually where they've clicked at times during this season, Son more than Kane from a goal scoring perspective. But as a unit, as a 2-man unit, they have not clicked at all once this year. And there was several examples today where, one player had the opportunity to send the other in, and they're just not working together the same way that we've come accustomed to. And it's hurting both of them. So,
yeah. Cody, real quick, where's your stamp? I mean, we've got a big month ahead. It's undeniable. It's a big month. 4 away games if you include the cup game. Top 4. Where are you with it? What's your take on it?
I don't. Things would have to literally do a complete 180 from where they are right now. Like, we would have to go to the Etihad and win for me to think that we have a chance at top 4, because other teams around us are picking up points. There's the thing is, like, that 4th spot right now, like, you can pretty much lock in Chelsea, City, Liverpool. They're going to be in the Champions League next year. That 4th spot, I mean, one thing you could say is that nobody's grabbing it with 2 hands at this point.
No, absolutely.
And things can change very quickly in the league table. There's still a lot of games left to play, but I'm not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing how, unless Skip and Dyer come back immediately, and all of our key players remain healthy, and Conte figures out a tactical change that's going to make us more difficult to play against, and put us in a position where we can more effectively break the press. Like, we might be the least press resistant team in the Premier League. If I don't care what team set up, if I'm in the Premier League and I'm managing a football club, I'm pressing Tottenham right now, because we can't handle it. We simply cannot handle it. So you have to hope that changes when Dyer comes back, because he has been good on the ball this year, playing in the center of that 3. I think he's probably going to slot into that middle spot when he comes back. And thank God, like, as soon as I started praising a player like Davinson Sanchez for improving under Conte.
Oh, we said that, didn't we? We said this earlier.
Yeah.
Sanchez,
Conte was praising him as well. And then he puts in these 2 performances
not long ago, and he's followed that with 2 outrageous
disaster
performances.
classes.
Yeah, disaster completely. But the thing is, like you said, Manchester United are dropping points. It looks like, with only a few minutes left, Leicester are beating West Ham. Everyone around us are dropping points, and we just cannot seem to capitalise. Or you look at it differently, we've lost points, but the damage around has not been too badly, because apart from Arsenal beating Wolves, there's not really much else going on results-wise.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'll say, though, you know, I'm pretty sure we've got more road matches left than home matches.
Yeah.
It was really important for us to turn the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium into a bit of a fortress that was difficult to come. Like, 0 points from Southampton and Wolves at home, and we've still got to go to Old Trafford. We've still got to go to Anfield. We've still got to go to the Etihad. You know.
Do you think as well, being away from home, I mean, I was, like I said earlier, I was at the Southampton game, and you know, within 10, 15 minutes, as soon as somebody like Winksy or anyone else makes a straightforward pass wrong, the fans straight away, you can feel the anxiety in the stadium. Do you think, and not that I blame the Spurs fans by all stretch of imagination, but do you think maybe perhaps playing away from home for a few games may help regarding the pressure a little bit?
Well, not when you're going to the Etihad, really.
No, not necessarily the Manchester City, but the games also that follow. Listen, I understand, the Man City game's going to be tough. It would have been tough even if we'd beaten both Southampton and Wolves. But the games that follow after that.
The thing is, Iggy, we've put ourselves in a position now where we have to start winning some of these difficult road games, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing to go away and, like, consider it a free hit against a team that, you know, is well above us in terms of class and quality, but you have to take care of business against the teams that you're supposed to beat. And that was one thing that Conte had turned around since he got here, right? We may have been like, if you're looking at, if we didn't have like miracle late goals against Leicester and Watford, this could be looking a lot worse right now than it is already. And it's just when you can't take care of business against the teams that you're supposed to beat, you put so much pressure on yourself.
I couldn't agree more, mate. I couldn't agree more.
You know, all the argument, oh, we got games in hand. Well, these are the games in hand that we're pissing away now, you know? So
you're right.
It's just it's not great. You know, I just fucking suck supporting this club.
Oh, West Ham have just scored in the 90th minute.
Really?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
2-2. There we go, Cody.
In injury time.
Stoppage time equaliser for West Ham.
VAR offside,
West
right?
Ham 2. We never won. Those only things happen to Tottenham. I wouldn't put it past us, but there you go. West Ham have scored. Look, Cody, great to talk to you as always, man. Great to see you. And let's hope. I wouldn't be much hope for City game, but maybe after that.